Wingmen of Reddit, what crazy things have you done to get your friend laid? My friend was sleeping over at my house. My parents and brother were all sleeping upstairs, while we were downstairs watching TV, playing video games and shit. At around 1 AM he asks if this girl can come over. He really wants to get with this girl, and I don't want to turn him down, so I reluctantly agree, on the condition that she's quiet. The three of us are hanging out, and I make some excuse to leave the room, so my friend can have some alone time with this girl. I'm upstairs in my room, when I start hearing loud moans. This is bad news for me, but great news for my friend. He's losing his virginity to a girl he really likes. I hear stirring in the next room and I know that their bout of loud lovemaking has woken my parents. The last thing I want is for my confused father to walk in on my friend fucking this girl in my basement. What do? I go to Pornhub, click on the first video I see, crank that shit to 100 on my speakers and let it play for the 3 minutes that my buddy ended up lasting. My dad ended up coming into my room, discovering the source of the noise. I even threw in some fapping motion under the covers, and awkwardly leaving. My buddy ended up having the best fucking time ever, bro. But Jesus, there were some awkward glances exchanged between my parents and I the next morning. With buddy at a bar, meet a guy and girl we thought were a couple, be social and find out not. The girl is clearly interested in my buddy, so I team up with other dude to go hunt. Find out he's gay, and really likes my style. I owed my buddy big time for past events and he played the card. So I pretended to be curious with the other dude, until the end of the night when my friend left with the girl. Then I calmly explained the situation, to which he responded, "You give me a kiss right now, and I won't call her, and cock block your friend." Bro powers activate. Gave the dude a power kiss. He loved it. I realized how awful beards are to be face smashed against. Confirmed my heterosexuality, and went home alone. Went out with a large group of friends for my best friend's birthday. Ended up in a club. My friend had been drinking heavily throughout the day, and we were meant to be meeting up with a group of girls later on, one of whom was a long time interest he'd had. Just as we arrived at the club, he threw up everywhere. I mean, just all down himself, and just looked horrible. Anyway, as was expected, he sobered up pretty soon after, and just kept saying how he couldn't believe he'd blown his chance with this girl. A few friends said he should just go home and call it a night, but he was getting more and more upset because apparently she'd said it was a sure thing if he met up with her. Now, he didn't have much luck with the girls and I really wanted this for him, so I took him to a nearby alley and, after actually having to convince him to make this happen, got him to switch clothes with me. He went in, had a great time, and has now been with the girl for about 3 years. I went home in a taxi covered in sick. TL. Doctor, I changed into my friend's sick covered clothes so he could continue his night out and get the girl. In our dorm all of the window screens were fastened by screws. There were no female visitors allowed after 10 PM. I removed the screws from my ground floor window and passed the word to the entire dorm that any visitors were welcome to pass through. It wasn't long before I had girls knocking on my window at all hours of the night. I would remove the screen, open the window, help them climb through, send them in the right direction, and replace the screen and close the window. The resident assistants never knew, as my room was directly opposite from the front office. So, you could say I was a wingman for the entire dorm. So this girl was really into my roommate, and she didn't know how to go about getting him interested in her. I didn't mention that he was already into her because I figured things would work, nature would take over. But I know that my roommate never really had a girlfriend that liked to actively give blowjobs, and that he really wanted a girlfriend who he wouldn't feel bad about asking for one. So I texted her a little guide to my roommate, and inside I explained that his biggest turn on and favorite thing ever is spontaneous blowjobs. So after a few days they started seeing each other. Months later I had asked how they were doing, and he explained, "Man, I don't know what her deal is, but she is crazy about blowjobs. I've never had so many in my life. It's fantastic." I felt like a child's parent after hiding money from the tooth fairy under their pillow. Update. Wow. Reddit gold. Thanks everyone. Unfortunately the relationship did not last too long, and I may or may not have ruined his sex life by forcing it to peak too early. That being said, his current girlfriend is super awesome, and I hope she too enjoys giving blowjobs. The blowjob fairy. I started talking to a group of attractive girls at a party shortly before introducing my girlfriend. After a short while, I began asking them about college sports. Me, do any of you watch college basketball? Them, no, not really. Me, so you've never seen Princeton play? Them, no. Me, so you don't recognize that dude over there? Points to my tall friend Justin. Them, no. Should we? Me, to friend, Justin. Come here. Justin, yes. Me, I was just talking to these girls about how you got a full ride to Princeton as their starting point guard. This was before smartphones. His other friends kept coming up to him congratulating him on his scholarship, while he has a girl on each knee, one rubbing his shoulders, and two more surrounding him all night. TL. Doctor told a group of girls that my tall gamer friend got a full ride basketball scholarship. My buddy, let's call him Blake, and I were at the bar sometime last year. The bar isn't really my scene, but Blake convinces me to go out with him anyways. So there we are drinking PBR and vibing to shitty music. Not my scene. When all of a sudden Blake says, "Dude, those two chicks over there are checking us out, man." Lo and behold, one's a 8/10, other is a 5/10 on her best day. Sure enough, he begs me to wingman for him and convincingly expresses his desires of trying to get her to leave with him or number at least. So after some contemplation, we approach them. Now the original gamma plan was to triple seize it, play it cool, calm, collected, but almost immediately after we walk up, I spill some of my beer on 8/10 chick's feet. In my defense, I was a little tipsy and trying to dance walk my way over. Blake sees this and didn't miss a beat as he slipped, has retarded after giving my name. Of course, both girls assume he actually meant I was retarded, so they both thought he was a down to earth guy for partying with his special friend. I catch the hint as I can already see the 8/10 immediately flirting with Blake. I played it off like I couldn't tell what was going on all night. Eventually they go their own way while 5/10 and I talk about growing up being bullied. Blake left with his girl, eventually fucked that night. 5/10 dropped me off at my house. Shit was hell. Double date. I got stuck with 2 hours of listening to a frat guy talk about all the cool moves and kills he did while playing Call of Duty. I thought he was really lonely until I suggested we change the subject and he started talking about lacrosse during a hand job. He just really liked listening to how awesome he was. For the first time in my life, I wished I had a penis so I could stuff it in his mouth and shut him the fuck up. Posted this in another thread, but I count Kevin Spacey as my best wingman. Not really crazy but still awesome. Probably will not be seen, but Kevin Spacey is awesome in person. When I first met him, I thought he would be a total dick. I was visiting New York with a friend of mine, and my friend took me to my first Broadway play, which being from a small town in the South was fucking spectacular. I mean the effects and everything. I recommend to go see a play in New York to everyone. But anyway, we were walking out of the theater and my friend, who hid his pint in his leather jacket going in, asked if I wanted some, so I said sure. Then it is me like a Mack truck, like, how about we go in the bathroom and drink, because no cops should be around. So we go into the bathroom and there is this one guy pissing. So we act like we are washing our hands, which seemed like forever. We got pretty toasted before the show. The guy walks out and we start swigging away on it to finish it. So in comes Kevin Spacey. My friend and I are dumbfounded. My first thought was hide the bottle in my hand, and my second thought was this is Kevin Spacey, he smoked weed in American Beauty. So he just walks in and gives us a nod, uses the urinal, and while he's pissing says, "To this day I will never forget it. Are you here for the show or to watch me piss?" Since I was lit, I blurted out, "We are here to drink." My friend slaps me upside the head and nothing but silence. He zips up and turns around and says, "Good, so am I." He whips out a flask and we pass him our pint. We bullshit for a couple minutes. He says it was nice to meet you and whatever. But the best thing was is this. I told him this is my first time in New York and was wondering if there was any good bars. He said try such and such. My friend and I looked at each other, then he left. We walked out thinking he probably thought we were gay. So long story short, We go to this bar and mention Kevin Spacey said come here after we got out of this show. Apparently he called ahead and told the guy what we were wearing and everything was calmed. We did not run up a huge tab or anything, but we were sat in the VIP section and everyone looked at us like we were gods. Also we got laid that night. The tab was probably like $300 and we told the manager we wanted to pay. He said no. So we left the woman who waited on us a $200 tip. Also we took a couple women to our hotel room and had some more fun. My friend passed out after doing tequila shots with the women. So long story short, Kevin Spacey hooked me up with my first and only threesome to this day. I do not tell this very often because no one believes me. But rest assured, if you meet him, he is a godsend. I only get partial credit for this one because I didn't actually do anything, but it's still my favorite. So, every year a bunch of friends and I go to DragonCon in Atlanta. Last year I couldn't go because I was deployed in Afghanistan. So my buddy decided to get a 5-foot tall print of a picture of me, paste it to a board, and carry it around the whole time. Apparently it was a great conversation starter and the whole I'm bringing my friend here in spirit thing played extremely well. He ended up sleeping with some girl dressed as Lara Croft. I have a moderate gambling problem. Went to Atlantic City with some friends and actually had a successful night, making about $500 at the poker table. It was about 2 AM and I for once made the responsible decisions to go to bed at a reasonable hour, and while I was ahead, I'm the first one back to the room and go to sleep. Sometime later, my friend comes back with a young lady. They make small talk about her life collecting tolls and living under bridges, harassing billy goats, etc. It soon becomes clear that my friend intends to bed this girl. He makes a move, but she rebuffs him, uncomfortable with the fact that I am, they think, sleeping in the other bed. I was going to just continue to lay there so as to cock block my friend and prevent him from making this mistake, but it became clear my friend really wanted to do this. So I awoke and said, gosh, that was a great nap. I feel refreshed and ready to go back down to the casino. Since there was nothing else to do, I started gambling again. I didn't want to go back to the poker table, so I sat down at the slots, where I proceeded to piss away the $500 profit and another $300 for good measure. So I had this friend, a white and nerdy type, 18 and eager to lose his virginity. One night I decided to take him out to a house party and introduce him to another single friend, a hot chick, a naughty librarian type of girl. A couple of drinking late for both of them, they really start to hit it off. So I walk off to do my thing. The night is great, dancing, drinking, and fucking around. Then I see my friend at the bar/kitchen bench surrounded by 2 guys pushing and yelling at him. Naturally I walk over to sort this out. Apparently he spilled a drink of one of the guys, and the guy was pissed that his socks are wet. I try to talk things out without resulting to violence, which clearly isn't working. So I tell my friend to go back to the girl, and I stay back and deal with this asshole. Thus I ended out getting into a fight with these 2 blokes outside, mainly getting the shit beat out of me, while my friend was getting his brains fucked out in the bedroom upstairs. Still to this day, haven't told about the fight. Long time lurker, also on phone, had to make an account to share this story. I had a GF, was trying to hook my buddy up with a hot crazy chick that kept trying to fuck me. Got them together at a party at my apt, everyone drinking. She walks up and asks, do you want to both go to your bedroom? She had offered thinking I'd finally agree to fuck her. While definitely questionable, I'm not the cheating type, but I needed to get my boy laid, so I agree into the bedroom. We go in, they start fucking, I'm watching, mind blown by what's happening. She starts begging me to put it in her mouth. Because that doesn't count as cheating, I keep pretending I'm thinking about it, mind still blown, and I don't cheat. Weird image of the night, buddy doing her doggy style, while she ignores him, and holds my foot begging me to put just the tip in her mouth. Weirdest night of my life. But she was hot and my buddy got laid. My buddy and I were drinking at this rural cemetery, and he brought this girl that he hadn't quite been able to get with yet. So he gets her drinking, and she gets horny, and the problem is I'm there, and they have no privacy. In my porn-riddled brain I think, wow, maybe I can get in on this, but my buddy comes up to me and asks me if I could go up to the front of the cemetery and stay there until they are finished. So I sat in a dark rural cemetery by myself for 20 minutes drinking Jägermeister and contemplating jerking off to the sounds of my buddy and this girl fucking. I didn't jerk off, I just cried on the inside and drank my booze. Best lay he ever had, and I third wheeled it in the dark. Buddy of mine was talking to a girl who was making not so subtle hints that he should get over there. He unfortunately was about 90 minutes by car away and didn't even have a car. As it was 1 AM he didn't even have public transport to avail himself of. He mentioned his dilemma to a small social group and I decided he was losing his V card that night. I drove 20 minutes to his house, then 90 up the coast to drop him off near 3 AM. Mission was a complete success. A large group of us decided it would be fun to break into an outdoor pool late at night and go for a swim. A girl that one of my buddies had been interested in for some time was going to be there, so naturally he made an appearance too. They ended up chatting for quite some time, and it looked like they were going to go home together. The night started to die down, and the only people left were myself, my buddy, the girl, and another friend of mine. As we are preparing to leave the pool, the police show up, just one car, so a couple of officers, and are about to arrest us. I can see the massive look of disappointment on my buddy's face, so I take a deep breath and shout, "Wild card bitches." Toss a huge bin of pool toys into the pool, and jump on top of the police cruiser naked. Fortunately, both of the officers chased after me, and my buddy and the girl managed to run away. They hooked up that night, and have been dating for 8 months now.